It looks like a gamer chair. Hello, we're live. I'm here with the lovely Rebekah. She is a proper human diet coach and a registered nurse, and we're going to have a good conversation today. So, the first thing, do you want to say a little bit about yourself and how you became a coach for the proper human diet?
Oh, yeah, sure. So I'm Rebekah. Hi. I'm an Army wife, mom to autistic twins. Came to a ketogenic diet back in 2018, really for my health and for my autoimmune issues, and slowly morphed over the years into a more carnivore-ish, ketovore-ish, like I'm like dirty carnivore. And finally got my entire family on a low carb way of eating. And back in 2022, end of 2022, I joined, like I'd already been following Dr. Ken Berry, but joined his community. And then just in January of this year, I became a coach in their private community, but I'm also a certified primal health coach too. So,
what's the difference?
So certified primal health coaches, they follow the primal way of eating. So meaning more paleo primal. So it could be, you could end up eating anywhere from 150 carbs to 0, depending on where you land. And it depends on your goals. Like they still encourage elimination. They still encourage that. But there are some people that they're like, listen, some people can eat the sweet potatoes and be fine. And some people, can have the maple syrup and be fine. But, if you can't, then, there's all this wiggle room.
Okay.
So it's just really about tailoring a low carb diet, which anything really below 150 in the standard American diet is really considered low carb. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I like my stevia in my coffee,
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I can do without it. And then, when I go to the US, I like pickles. I had a bite of not coleslaw, I had a bite of sauerkraut when I was visiting my parents, and that sent me to the toilet very fast.
I can't even stand the smell of it. So my husband loves sauerkraut, and I'm like, every time he cooks it, it's like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
It's really funny because actually Teresa's here. And I did an interview with Teresa on my channel. And I told her in that interview, I've been craving sauerkraut for months. And so after that, I actually went home to Chicago. I was visiting my parents. Actually, they're in Indiana, right outside of Chicago. And I bought some sauerkraut. I had a bite. I had another bite. And I was like, nope, no more. And I don't know what it was, but I definitely had some running situations to the bathroom after that. My sister's like, it's always the fermented stuff for you. But yeah, there you go. I think you gotta
I like pickles.
Oh, I love pickles, especially Aldi's. I like Aldi's pickles. Like I said, there's not a lot of that stuff that I can get here. Like pickles here are with sugar. Anyways, we're off to the races. But my point is I do eat very low carb, but I hate to put a name on it like carnivore, even though I will always promote this sort of eating because I'm not like the meat, salt, water person. I'm not going to do that. I never gave up my coffee. I don't know when I will or if I will.
Yeah, that's my next thing is actually my next thing is going to be giving up stevia, and then then I might give up coffee. I just haven't done it yet. I still won't give up spices though. I don't think. I think there's certain spices that, like oregano every now and then, garlic every now and then,
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I understand.
So I'm not 100% purist, and I'm the closest one to carnivore in our household. My husband is on and off. I'm actually super excited. So you'll go and subscribe to my channel, which would be really great, guys.
let me interject. She needs 9 more subscribers to hit 500, and then she will be able to monetize. So we have 19 people watching. I'm going to put your channel in the chat, the link to your channel, but I can't find it. I'm looking for it. I can't find it.
Let me see if I can try to find it.
Rebekah. Oh, if you go on or just toss, let me do that.
It's
Rebekah
at Rebekah Bavry CPHC.
Rebekah Bavry
CPHC. Yeah.
C. Okay. Let's see. What did I get here? Oh, I got it. Oh, you know what? It was. There you go. I'm going to put this in the chat. Hello, everybody. Please give her a subscribe. We got 23 people watching, and
we've got
there we go.
Yeah, we got I got a really interesting person that I'm going to be on with, and my husband is actually going to join in because he is he's in the Army, and he just got picked up for the Sergeant Major Academy this year. So it looks like we'll be staying in for a little while. So one of the things is that he is low carb, and it's really hard for him when he's out in the field, when he's doing training, like all this, because they make them eat MREs. And I'm not even going to go into what crap is in the MREs, because
what does MRE mean?
Meals ready to eat. So it's a chem meal. You open it up, and there's a chemical reaction, and it heats up. Oh no, dude! It literally has stuff in it to make you not poop, because soldiers that poop are less productive.
Oh no. My daughter, she's 5. She should be in the Army. She used to be able to go a month without pooping.
Oh my gosh. So,
oh my God, that's crazy.
I'm sorry. Bad. It is so bad. So I am going to be going, I don't know if it's going to be a live or if we're going to record it, but eventually it will be on there. Yeah, in Carnivore today, you open up the MRE and eat it, and your body has a major chemical reaction to it.
Oh my gosh! Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Terrible.
It is, and I will say that the ones that nobody ends up like eating is the vegetarian ones.
Oh wow, that's funny.
It's like they end up coming back with a whole box of vegetarian ones.
They're trying to get the meat out of it. Yeah, that is funny. So before we continue, do you want to try that product that you have? You want to try that product live? No, we're not getting endorsed for this, by the way. Nobody's getting any kickbacks.
No. So no kickbacks. This is if you're an insider with Element, so that is either the people that have invested in it when they crowdfunded.
Yeah.
And or if you are get like a monthly subscription, get Element sent to you. Okay. They sent out their new product, which is the Element Seltzer Water. So I have not tried this yet. My husband did. I will not tell you what he said. But this is it's got sparkling water, salt, so sodium chloride, citric acid, malic acid, magnesium malate, potassium chloride, natural black cherry and lime flavors, and stevia leaf extract. So this is their new one. This is the equivalent of 1 packet of their Element in 16 ounces of water. So I'm a little nervous. This is the black cherry. It's a new flavor. That's why I picked this one. Let's see. It smells good. Oh. Okay, it's not bad. Very salty. very salty. Yes, but it's actually, they put enough flavoring in it to where it's actually not that bad.
Okay.
So I was expecting it. I was expecting to not like it because I thought it was gonna be like taking like a whole spoon of salt in my mouth. It's not. It's actually not bad. That was less climactic than what I was hoping. Yeah.
Well, thanks for trying it.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. I know that some people already put like packets of element in like what's like LaCroix, bubbly,
Oh yeah.
San Pellegrino, Topo Chico, all those different
Topo
ones.
Chico, yeah.
Yeah. So, Dom and Lee said said she wasn't a fan of the element, gave it away. I've been drinking it forever. Oh my gosh, I've been drinking it for absolutely ever, and I love it. But yeah, like my son drinks 3 of them a day.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
He runs.
Oh, okay. So it's not like overload. And what are you gonna do? It's just you're gonna pee out what you don't use, I think.
You do. It's as long as you're and see, I think that's something that there's the nurse practitioner like teaching that I'm learning is sort of coming in. If your kidneys are healthy, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, I don't take any Teresa says I have unflavored or just salt. I think I have salt. I like some vitamins sometimes, but I'm not really good about taking them. But I don't have any electrolytes other than salt.
I take after listening about the things about magnesium, because there's all kinds of YouTube videos out there, and I can't remember who it was. I did start taking magnesium, and because I have thyroid issues, I do take the essentials for thyroid. So zinc, selenium,
Okay.
And iodine. And I take a very large dose of iodine, like 25 milligrams, which is like,
So is that a
lot?
lot?
A lot. That's a lot.
How many droppers is that? Like,
I bought the pills.
Oh, okay.
I bought the iodoral pills because I was like, that stuff tastes nasty.
Yeah.
So I ain't doing that. No amount of coffee is going to do 25 milligrams justice.
Sure. So this is a good question from Scott, right? While we're talking about it, what are your thoughts on the topic of supplements?
Supplements, I think that they are, some people need them and some people don't. I think that it's highly dependent upon what's going on in your body. I think that if you're a runner, you should probably be supplementing at least with stuff like Element, or making your own soul water, or however you say it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to, I really think getting enough of things like that. Thyroid health, you should be making sure you're getting in your selenium, your zinc, and your iodine, because iodine's necessary. And if you don't live on the coast, you're not getting that stuff.
Sure. Yeah, no, I understand. That makes sense. Like if you're not swimming all day in the beach, which I wish I was.
Right.
What do you, again, we're not like getting kickbacks for anything, but do you recommend any specific brands?
Yeah. I really like Thorne for their selenium and their zinc. Melatonin, I can't remember the brand of melatonin we buy, because my kids are high functioning autism. They take melatonin. That's a whole long other conversation about why they need it. That I don't even completely understand. It has to do with the misfirings in autistic brains. And let's see, iodoral. I don't know if that's the brand, but if you look up on Amazon, like iodoral, it will come up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it will come up, and there's different ones. What else? There's a brand called Pure, and they're a little bit cheaper, and that's because they literally don't put anything else in it. There's no fillers. It's like, hey, like we use passion flower as a natural sleep aid to help, with my kids going to sleep and everything. I take it too, because if you have like an anxious brain at night, which I do, it'll shut it off almost as effectively as like a benzodiazepine.
Oh, wow. So it's a lot better.
But so it's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And it's, but it doesn't have the side effects that like valerian root does.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay. I've heard valerian root should be used for like, my dad used to give it to my sister apparently for parasites, valerian root, and I don't know if that works or not for that. But
I have no idea. I'd have to get out like my herbalism book and like look through it because I'm like an amateur herbalist.
yeah.
I will say, like, there's one supplement that I want people to be very cautious about. We tried it because everybody in the ketogenic world is like, go try berberine.
Oh, that's so funny. I literally just got a bottle of it today, arrived to my house, and I was going to try it for 30 days. That's hilarious.
Try it for 30 days because there are some people that are sensitive to it and there's some people that's not. Me and my husband are very sensitive to it.
What happens?
Within 30 minutes of taking it, I get nauseated. I get the bubble guts, and then it all comes down to poop, doesn't it? Everything always like it's just diarrhea and it's really bad. And you're supposed to take these one with every meal. So
I didn't know that. I thought it was just like at the end of the night or something.
No, it's like 3 times a day, 500 milligrams, 3 times daily.
Oh, wow.
And that's the max dose that you really should be taking. But you will poop your brains out. Some people, me and my husband, it did not go well. So I was like, I really don't like feeling kind of icky.
Right.
So we stopped taking it.
Okay, I understand. Can we talk about the subject of sleep for a second? Because I just want to add my 2 cents here. I used to have terrible sleep before I came to this like low carb, carnivore-ish way of eating. And like terrible sleep. Like I was pregnant and then I'm nursing, and 11 months later I'm pregnant again, and then I'm nursing for 3 years with my daughter, literally over 3 years nursing. And she is a night owl. My son would sleep through the night. His first year, I think he just slept. And then my daughter was the exact opposite. And that all of those hormonal changes, no period for years, I just didn't sleep and I was a total wreck. And even after I got my period back, like my body was still out of whack. Plus, this was the time period I think in my entire life I was eating the worst. Minus childhood and adolescence, I ate terribly. Better maybe in my no. But anyways, this is probably the worst time of my whole life. So everything's out of whack. And then I came to eating this way, and my God, could I sleep? I can sleep now. I can have a coffee at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and literally lie down with my kids and go to sleep at 8 and sleep until like 4 or 5 in the morning. I'm an early bird. I don't feel like death anymore when I wake up. I love waking up early. It's funny because the second, like, look, I said I'm not perfect. I made popcorn. We watched a movie. I had some popcorn with my kids last week. Ruined my sleep. Literally, popcorn ruined my sleep. I couldn't fall asleep. So I really think that if you eat the right amount of fat and the right food that your body needs, it kind of like aligns everything. I sleep so good if I'm strict. And that's even funny because I drink coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. That's supposed to destroy your sleep. And I can drink coffee and go to sleep 4 hours later, early. So I just wanted to
wish I had that
plug in there.
I wish that was me. So I've had generalized anxiety disorder really since, oh my gosh, probably since I was a teenager. And I can give you a small portion of my backstory. But my dad was a doctor. I can't believe this is going out for the first time publicly, everybody, y'all.
Okay.
And I do not want your sympathy. So if anybody gives me sympathy, I'm going to flip you off.
All right.
just I don't want sympathy. Just know that I'm a strong person. So my dad was a Vietnam vet, and he came back from Vietnam. He was a Navy corpsman, and he came back and started going through school to be in the medical field. He met my mom when he was an orderly. If you don't know what an orderly is, it's like a nurse's aide, but they're male.
Okay.
So he met my mom. She was a nurse. They got married. He went to school to be a physician's assistant, got out, went to work for Ciba Geigy, who is a big pharma company. Yeah, I don't know. I
I
love
think
those.
because your
Don't
thumb
you?
was like
I'm
this,
sorry.
and then it's
Oh,
okay.
So he worked for big pharma, but he was a sales rep. Then he was like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to med school. So he graduated from med school the month after I was born
Yeah.
and was sober until I was 3 years old.
Okay.
So dad became a drug addict. He was a doctor, became a drug addict in about 1984.
Oh wow.
And that was because of some health circumstances. Like he got addicted to prescription narcotics.
Okay.
And so he ended up was like, I could get off these on my own, which is like that's a very futile attempt. There's very few people that can do it without professional help. And so he ended up becoming a full-fledged addict. I never knew my dad like sober. And then when I was a teenager, he went to prison for 13 months, lost his medical license, and he basically put my family through hell. So I've had anxiety issues ever since like my teenage years, because there were people in my high school that, because my dad was a drug addict, like it was bad. Like I got bullied for it.
Right. That's terrible.
It is. Yeah, but you know what? It's like, it kind of made me who I am. And and so, yeah, so I'm big on health and stuff. Part of the reason because of that. But, I was like, where was I going with all this? Like, kind of like just who I am.
Right.
And it gave me anxiety. That's where I was going with it. So I've had anxiety issues. So when I lay down to go to sleep, it's sort of like I've got, 10 Windows tabs open. They're all frozen and there's music coming from somewhere that I can't find. And that's my head at night. And it doesn't matter.
Man.
I could eat a stick of butter before bed. It ain't gonna shut it up.
No.
Like, so
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Like,
Do you ever try to take like a walk, like a long walk until you're exhausted and then just keep walking past that point?
No,
that
no,
might
not.
Maybe try that. I wonder, you live in a good neighborhood where that's possible?
We have a cul-de-sac and it's this big. So it's like, I'd be like, and half of the cul-de-sac is on a hill. So it'd be a very unpleasant walk. But no, I haven't tried that yet. Mostly, I have a very, very strict sleep schedule. Very strict.
Okay.
If somebody's like, so if people are like, hey, you want to come over at 9:30 at night? Nope, I'll be asleep.
Oh yeah.
Like,
who does that anymore? We're moms. Like, we're not 20.
I'm old. No, I'm old. Those days are gone. No,
Yeah.
we start getting ready for bed about 7:30, and then we are all in our bedrooms by 8:30, and by 9 we are lights out.
Okay, great. That's awesome. I stayed up late last night. I think I was watching videos on how to make cheese and butter at home. And it was like 10:40. I'm like, oh, I got to go to sleep now. This is really late for me at 10:40. So
yeah.
And then I got up
we turned off the TV
5:30.
at 9, and we were like, what, 9? What?
Yeah. Oh no,
we're
actually
late.
no.
We're late.
Friday's the late night. This is movie night for me and my husband after the kids go to sleep. So that's the late night for us.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah. Friday's usually late night for us, and Friday's usually pizza night.
Oh, okay. Do you do carnivore pizza?
I do. I use a modified. Everybody, I don't know why people give me a weird look when I say I modified it. A modified Maria Emmerich's like protein sparing bread.
Yeah.
Like I modified it.
I don't know that recipe. I'm too lazy to try to do anything extravagant with food.
It's just whipping egg whites with
a
few things tossed in, But I do a modified one, and would do that. I've done the meat crusts, and I'll tell you what I don't like about the meat crust is you might start with a pizza that's this long. By the time it's baked and cooked, it's a personal pan size. And you got to drain all kinds of grease off of it. And I'm like, no, Mama ain't got time for that.
Yeah, I understand. For
So,
sure. We got like some other questions here, so and a lot
where?
of comments I need to catch up with. So let's see.
No, we're good.
Are you aware of anyone besides me who calls non-carnivore foods duck food? I am not,
No.
Rick. Sorry it took so long to answer that. That's so funny because he has videos where he feeds his ducks, the ducks that live near him, like ravioli, like what is that called? Not ravioli. Yeah, it's ravioli. Chef Boyardee.
Oh,
Hey guys, so we have
that stuff's so
30.
nasty.
Oh, it's gross. We have 34 people watching. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all y'all spending your time with us this morning. And I'm just gonna do another shout out. Please, the lovely Rebekah needs 4 more subscribers to get to 500. Let's do that for her. I just put the link in the chat. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. When can you move off supplements? That's a question. That's a good question.
When do you know? So that's a great question. I don't know how you know. Probably whenever you can just stop taking them. Like I would never ever go off of anything automatically. Like, so, hey, let's say that you're taking, pick a supplement, zinc every day. You're taking zinc every day and it's 50 milligrams. I would be like, okay, so I'm going to take 50 milligrams every other day and then every 2 days. And then I'd say, doing that and then wean off of it and then see how you do and see if you have symptoms of zinc deficiency. I cannot rattle them off the top of my head. I'd have to go look them up. But some people get the little white dots on their nails when they have a zinc deficiency.
I'm like looking at my nails right now.
I know. Well, and I did have some. It's really interesting because I kept my nails done for a long time. And I took them off. I was like, oh, I've got white spots. Started taking zinc and it went away. I was like, okay, so it's true. Great.
Interesting.
And zinc's important. It's very important. So, and unless you're eating a lot of oysters and things like that, I'm like,
I have one
you
oyster.
probably aren't getting enough.
I had one oyster my whole life.
I've never had them. Just the thought of it makes me want to gag. So no.
So I have a short about it, and it's really funny because my uncle, I'm like, can you video this while I try this oyster for the first time? I'm like, never mind, I'll do it. And so I'm sitting there videoing myself chewing on it like a raw oyster. He's like, in the background, we hear, swallow it.
Well, you're not supposed to chew.
Yeah, it was really weird. It's got like a weird texture, but it doesn't taste fishy. It tasted like ocean water is what it tastes like.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Gummy, sort of slimy ocean water. So maybe if it was more
I don't
like
think you're supposed to. I don't think
you're
supposed to chew them. I think you're supposed to just and drink it.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's okay. My daughter, she had a cheat meal.
Oh, okay.
And this was years ago, and she wanted to try octopus balls.
Oh.
And it was like hush puppies. If you know what a hush puppy is,
no.
It's like a cornbread type ball of dough that's been battered in deep. It's like just deep fried.
Oh, it sounds like a heart attack.
It is, but you know what? It had chunks of octopus tentacles in it, and she loved it. And I was wow. You're so gross.
Oh man,
you're so gross.
That's funny. Let's see, what weird stuff have I tried? I've had that oyster. That's not weird. People eat oysters. I've eaten innards, like cow and pig insides. Organ meats.
Well, if anybody has ever eaten chorizo, they've eaten literally the innards of.
Oh, I eat chorizo all the time.
Yeah, chorizo is. Oh, you got to go look at the ingredients, like the real ingredients, where they list the actual parts of the pig they throw in.
Oh,
you'll
wow,
be like, you're like, oh, I've been eating gross stuff forever. Awesome. That's why people don't. It's like in hot dogs. It's all the stuff that nobody really wants to eat.
Right. Oh, I do. I do love a good hot dog.
Yeah. Right.
Oops. I'm trying to look at your channel, and then I opened your live stream. So sorry if you hear feedback.
Well, and here's the thing: is I don't know if people on the chat does this. What I see is it combining our chats.
It should be combining our chats, but if I answer somebody, I think it only shows up on mine, but it should be combining ours. And I'm trying to see where we're at on your subscribers.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Like if I get there, I get there. If not,
oh, it's just a game I'm playing. Oh man, you need 2 more. Oh my gosh, you need two more subscribers. We're gonna get that before the end of the live stream. Okay, so
I had 5. Teresa says I call it guinea pig food. I had 5 of them. 5 guinea pigs.
They're so cute. And then
we had guinea pigs. We finally got rid of them because my kids didn't take care of them, and I was not doing them.
Do you know you can eat them? Do you know
really? Listen, I've considered starting to raise rabbits because they're super easy to raise.
No, it's like dried chicken. It's like dry chicken. It's terrible.
Not if you get domesticated. Domesticated is super ultra because they get fat.
Oh, I didn't know that. Because you're feeding them. They're not like
because you're feeding. Yes. So you're feeding them like alfalfa. You're getting them all the good hay. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they get kind of chunky, and then my dad used to do that apparently when he was a teenager. He sold them for food.
Oh wow.
I'd probably get PETA here.
Probably. Here's a good
my
question.
Dad always my brother always calls PETA people eating tasty animals.
Sorry. Carnivore for 3 months, 3.5 months, maybe. Getting eye problems, scary double vision, blurry. Any suggestions?
Oh yeah, my suggestion is you need to go to an ophthalmologist because carnivore is not going to cause double vision.
Okay.
No ifs, ands, or buts. That's a you need to go see your doctor or an ophthalmologist or an optometrist, whoever will give you the actual referral to where you need to go. But this needs to be anytime there's double vision, then you need to go get that checked out.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yep.
Is that the same as like a astigmatism? No, that's when you're seeing two things. Oh, okay. Yeah. Stacy Patterson calls it quail food. She feeds it to her garage quail and they turn it into cute little eggs. Aww.
Absolutely.
We want to get some chickens, but I don't know.
I should have done it when we first moved here because we have half an acre, which is weird in a little neighborhood that we have, but we have like half an acre. The back half has like a good canopy of trees and everything. And I didn't do it because I was like, I'm in school. I don't have time to take care of chickens. And now I'm kicking myself in the butt for it.
Well,
because now we're not going to be here long enough.
Okay. Oh yeah. You mentioned that. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we were talking before the live stream about the American Diabetes Society. Do you want to explain a little bit about that project?
Yeah.
And how it relates to the American Diabetes Association?
Absolutely. So this is something super cool that Dr. Ken Berry is involved in. Somebody reached out to him, was like, because he had put out a video, was like, do we need somebody to rival the American Diabetes Association? And there was somebody a lawyer contacted Dr. Berry and said, yes, we do. And I want to help. So now there's, we've got there's a bunch of people on board, and it's going to be called the American Diabetes Society, and it's super exciting. And I'll tell you some little tidbits. Like, I'm in nurse practitioner school, and the thing of it is that what they teach in school is that you need to follow the American Diabetes Association's algorithms for treating diabetes. And the thing of it is that it's just another nonprofit organization that is absolutely not even like, it's not really a medical, like anything. It's not a government anything. It is a nonprofit organization that somebody started and said, hey, we're going to do this. That's great. And they take money from big pharma, including Ozempic, the big drugs, the Novo Nordisk, I think is the the company, and then all of big food, including Coca-Cola. So, one of those things, one of the things is that the American Diabetes Society is going to be the alternative, and the recommendations are going to be real. The recommendations are going to be scientifically proven, and we've got some big names that are being pulled on, like for the board, where they're recruiting currently for the board of directors, because it'll start out with a 3-person board of directors, and then it'll move to 9, and it's going to be amazing. Carnivore Scott, I have some notion of some of the political pitfalls. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be pushback. It's going to be pushback. But can you imagine, like in school, it's like, let's see, what does it say? Let me see. What does my book say? You have to it's like it says, you need to follow, like, always follow the ADA guidelines. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Target goal is 7% for a hemoglobin A1C, which is still way firmly in diabetic territory.
Wow, this is crazy.
And then the book that they used literally said that people may not be able to understand how to regulate their blood sugar. So you might have to do a different goal at like 8 to 10%.
Oh, wow, that's
A1C.
crazy.
Like, because people are dumb and can't do it. Like, it literally is talking about how people are not capable, or they may not be able to count their carbohydrates. They may not have the ability to. I'm like, so you're really saying that people are just effing stupid and can't do it? So, oh well, it's fine if they lose their feet. It's fine if they lose their their legs and have diabetic ulcers, and peripheral vascular disease, that their legs come off in your hands once they're on hospice. It's like,
wow,
we need better. We need better. We need better.
We do need better. And I'm sure that Dr. Barry's project is going to go a long way in making that better, but I think it's going to possibly, like everything else, why are we all talking about this? Is a bit of an uphill battle. Look, I have loved ones who are not healthy, and they don't want to listen to me.
Oh no, my brother doesn't want to listen to me. I'm not going to call him out. He's also a type 2 diabetic though, and it's like, he's like, if I don't check my blood sugar, then my blood sugar is not abnormal, is it?
That doesn't mean that.
as he takes insulin.
Right. Oh my gosh. So this is just like a funny, like, anecdotal thing. When I was visiting a family member, we do this thing because he does have diabetes. And we always prick my finger to see, like, compare our blood sugar. So I go a little off when I visit my family, but I'm still primarily eating a lot of meats, and I've been eating this way for over a year. So I was working that day, and he's like, let's go to dinner. I don't remember if we did it before or after dinner, but I remember I hadn't eaten for a very long time. Like, I ate bacon and some sausage for breakfast, and then it was all day not eating. And he took my blood sugar. I felt totally fine, by the way. I didn't feel like I had low blood sugar like I would if I was eating like 6 meals of carbohydrates a day. And it was like 89. He's like, you need to check that out. You need to go to your doctor.
Oh my God.
So low.
No,
I'm like, but I feel fine. I feel so
that
good.
Is not low. That's just it. That is not low. And here's where, like, and one of the recommendations, it's like the whole goal of treating diabetes is to prevent hypoglycemia. I'm like, shouldn't it be to prevent them from having high blood sugar? But no, we are preventing them from having low blood sugar. Makes no sense. So really, anything of 51 or above, as long as you're not a type 1 diabetic or on insulin, those are the two caveats. Really, so there are people that are in they have 50s, 60s, 70s. They're fine. Yeah. They are fine if they're on a ketogenic diet and they're not on insulin. What did I just say? They're not on diabetic meds. If you're on diabetic meds, we don't want you down that low because there's a chance you could crash, and then getting you back from low blood sugar is really hard. Getting somebody down from high is really easy.
Okay. So that's good to know. So I like my
89 is like nothing. It's like you're normal. That is what the normal blood sugar should be. 80s, 90s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Some people start to feel it in their 70s or 60s. They might start to feel it like maybe a little bit sick to their stomach, maybe a little headache, maybe just feel a little lethargic. So yeah, but most of the time, no. And there's people that are normal. I've seen people talk about this, like they wear CGMs at night or like all the time, but at night, it'll wake them up because they'll drop into the 50s in the middle of the night.
Oh, wow.
And they're like, did you die? No, because you have like a literal feedback loop system, a negative feedback system in your body. Once it gets to something that's too low, as long as you're making insulin and not a type 1 diabetic and not on any medications, I'm going to keep hammering that.
Sure.
Then, your body will be like, oh, we're in the 50s. We should probably release a little glucose from the liver. Okay. And then that happens and it brings it up a little bit. And it keeps it steady. And you've got this basal insulin rate that is just kind of keeping it steady. If you're on a low carb diet, it's really not that big a deal.
Okay. Yeah. No, he was like, wow, that's so low. You need to go see your doctor. You need to tell him how you're eating. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll do that. But
no, you're fine. Girl, you good.
I didn't feel that.
That's why your A1C is probably in the fours.
Okay. So good question. I need to do my blood work again. Last time I took it, it was like 5.6 actually in September.
Oh, really?
And that was up from 5.4, which was the first time I took my blood work. But I talked to Dr. Philip Avadia, and he said like when you're carnivore, your blood cells last longer or something. And so it's
that is the theory. That is the theory.
Okay. Oh, maybe he said theory. Maybe he said theory. Yeah. So
that's a theory. We haven't, I don't know. And I don't know how they know that it lasts for 120 days, but the red blood cell lasts about 120 days. The theory is that because the way that we eat, there's less damage to the cell. So it lasts longer. So your body doesn't shunt it to be destroyed.
Oh, interesting. So I don't know. I should do my blood work again because I think that was in like August or September last year. So I would like to do it again.
Everybody should everybody should get yearly labs just to keep check on things.
Sure. I was just doing it trying to keep check on the fact that I'm eating this crazy diet and make sure I'm not killing myself.
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting is I'd never had my A1C checked, and I went to the endocrinologist that is my primary care. Don't ask me. It's a weird thing. TRICARE did it. They're dumb. Went to an endocrinologist and they did an A1C on me and it was 5.2. It went up to 5.5. But then I bought a home one, like a home kit. Have you seen the home kits?
No.
So you can buy home kits. Like I am not affiliated with any of these people. Just so you know. Found it on Amazon. This is one of the FDA approved ones.
Okay.
If that really means anything, because it's the FDA, right? So I was like waiting to see. I was like, oh, wonder what it's going to be now. It's 5.0. I was like,
oh wow,
holy crap!
I should try. I need it. How much was that on Amazon? Maybe I'll order it.
There was 2 cartridges, so 2 tests for $60.
Oh, it's not reusable. Maybe I don't know if I'll get that. I'll just go get my blood work done. It's cheaper.
Yeah, it might. It's probably cheaper. Like I did it just to do it. I was like,
that's cool.
Just to do it. I'm one of those weird people.
Oh, we're all kind of weird in this space. Scott says, caution, many patients refuse to take doctors' advice. I have witnessed this when I worked in Army hospital as the data manager. Very few patients will even follow simple instructions. There you go.
Well, Carnivore Scott, let's talk about Army hospitals and how FOS they are. They stalk you with interns and residents. Do you know what happened when I went for my female visit?
Oh, no, I don't want to know. Did he have a beard that was like this big?
Oh, no, it was a female. I had a female
okay.
doctor.
Okay.
A female. She was a resident. She was a third-year resident. So she came in, and they were like, get undressed from the waist down. I was like, the waist down? I was like, is she not going to do a breast exam? They were like, oh, no, she doesn't do breast exams. She came in. I was like, why aren't you doing a breast exam? She goes, well, studies have shown it actually doesn't show anything. It doesn't actually discover anything. What? Like, and then it was like when she did a pap smear and then didn't do a pelvic. I was like, are you not going to do a pelvic exam? And she's like, no, studies have shown that you actually don't feel anything. I was like,
oh no, I'm sorry.
That is actually not the recommendations. It's like legit not even the recommendations. I was so like upset that I was like, bump it. And I was like, thank God she PCS'd. She PCS'd to Alaska. Praise Jesus.
What's PCS mean?
Oh, permanent change of station.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
For all you Army people.
For all of us normies.
Yeah.
You know, when I was pregnant, I think that was the last time I had a breast exam. So my first pregnancy, I got really used to people poking you, touching you, and all sorts of places. You just don't care anymore. And then I came here and I had my second pregnancy here in Columbia, and a girl looks at my boobs, look okay to me. Okay to me. I'm like, where's the exam? Okay, it's fine. I'm okay. They look good to me. It was very cute that she said that. Looks healthy.
Well, perfect. Yeah.
For all of you that are not women and haven't had babies, maybe this is a funny conversation to have and just be so open about it. You just don't care anymore. You don't care. You get poked, you get prodded, you're naked all the time, it feels like.
Oh my gosh. I could make a really crude joke and I'm not going to.
Okay, yeah, we'll skip. I can't edit it in a live stream. Okay. Nope. Tanya says, my sister is now a type 1. She used Ramsey. I don't know what Ramsey is. Is it a medication? The same thing as type 2.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
She used Ramsey. Let's see.
So when you're type 1, can you become type 2?
No.
Oh, then I don't think I understand this comment. Do you want to clarify this, Tanya?
I'm looking. Ramsey and diabetes. Would help if I spelled diabetes.
Diabetes.
She
Sandra,
used it.
While you're looking at that, I'll just read this comment. Sandra says, good evening, all. What part of the planet are you in that it's evening? Just had my dinner, steak and buttery scrambled eggs. Dog had the same. Yummy. Yummy.
Hey, we can't afford to feed our dogs yet a carnivore diet. I need to.
I just give them the bones. I give these dogs here. They're not even my dogs. I sent you some photos of how we live, but it's a huge, huge farm, I guess you want to say. Huge. There's lots of houses here. The whole family lives here in different houses. But so it's like the family dogs.
That's my goal. That's life goals right there for me.
Life goals? Oh man, yeah. I was just talking to my husband about that. He's like, anyone would love to live how we live, where you like live near your family, but you're not in the same house.
Absolutely. That's like my goal. Shoot, how do you feel about Columbia?
I love it, or else I would have left already. No, when I went to Chicago and I see an avocado for $6, I'm like, no, sorry. And by the way, I don't really eat a lot of avocados, but still. When I take an Uber for $30 because I don't have a car because I'm visiting, I'm like, nope, I'm out. Sorry. It's so expensive.
I one of these days.
So choosing to live one. Hello, good point. How the heck do you determine the age of red blood cells?
I don't know. I don't know how they determined it. I'm sure that there has been some scientific method that I'm not aware of. I have not cared to dig into it really so I'm sure there's somebody out there that somehow figured out that it was 120 days. It was probably in a petri dish.
Probably. Cousin has type 2 diabetes, wanted to do a diet where only swapped white rice for brown, white bread for brown, think it would help. Every week I sent her info and vids from various doctors about the proper human diet. Yeah.
White rice and brown rice, they're both sugar. Once they pass those lips, they start breaking down in the mouth because you have enzymes. And yep, it's broken down into sugar.
I hear your dog.
Come here.
I think the problem is, like, once you're that, like, type 2 diabetic, you're so addicted to sugar and you're so addicted to carbohydrates. And I've experienced this from people I've tried to help, that they're so addicted, they're not willing to try something else because they have their medicine or their medications or whatever. And so maybe, Sandra, that's what you're running into, is that these people, man, if you take heroin, you could die right now. You could literally just die right now. I'm not advocating anyone take drugs. I'm just trying to make a point. But if you take sugar, it's like a slow death. It's like a slow, painful death. Not that I'm saying it's great to die of any drug, but some drugs you take, you die immediately. And some drugs, it's going to just prolong the misery.
And I think
one of those.
And something that I need people to understand really about insulin and these medications for diabetes, with the exception of metformin. Metformin is just a little bit different. I don't know what they're barking at. There's like literally nothing going on. So people who have diabetes, type 2 diabetes, they have high insulin. And they have high insulin because they literally have their blood sugars keep going up and up and up. Their pancreas keeps dumping more and more and more and more and more. So they become very insulin resistant. They're dumping a lot of this stuff. And then you're like, oh, we got to get your blood sugars down. Nobody's focusing on the insulin. We got to get the blood sugars down. So let's give you more insulin. And then you become more insulin resistant. And it's just, it's like a vicious cycle, and it doesn't help anything. Give me 2 seconds.
No worries. I will read some more comments here. Choosing to live one. I just got A1C and fasting insulin from Own Your Lab. $770 for the A1C and $1260 for the fasting insulin. Wow, that's very cheap. I found that female gynecologists are worse than males. Don't understand why, but it's been like that every time. I think as women, we're so mean to each other.
But they're not as gentle either.
No, they're not. I noticed.
They're like, hey, I am now touching you on the inner thigh. And you're like, dude, like,
I think also first. I think also because men have to be careful with women. It could rapidly become problematic for them. So you have to be very careful.
There's a really interesting, this is so not family appropriate, but Dr. Chafee was talking on a live video somewhere, and people have to go find it, about females going to the doctor because they were not getting what they needed.
Okay, I understand. I think everybody understands.
Yeah. So, and I think this was back in like the 1800s. So helped with hysteria. And anyway, but Dr. Chafee, like, and I was sitting here and I was listening to this video and I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh my gosh. Well,
and so,
definitely not anymore. That's definitely not anymore. Oh wow.
No, but it was interesting. People need to go like find that and just
find that video.
Dr. Chafee talking about it is pretty interesting too.
That's funny, yeah.
Because he turns just a little tiny bit red in the face.
That's hilarious. Oh man.
3 times daily. Multiple daily insulin is something that they absolutely multiple daily injections is like the standard of care because they say it helps. But I'm actually a little tiny bit surprised because usually they try to get type 2s on the most simple. So like usually once daily, like a
Sure.
long acting insulin. But it's just insulin. It's just going to contribute, make her insulin resistance worse. And then she'll have to have more insulin eventually, and then more insulin to keep her blood sugar down. So it's just kind of how
A vicious circle. A vicious
it
circle,
is.
just or like a dwindling spiral. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Tanya says she was type 2, then became 1. It was supposed to say she said the same. It auto-corrected basically. So she was type 2 and then became type 1.
Okay. Yeah. That is an autoimmune. That's usually some sort of an autoimmune issue. It just, the pancreas dies. Now, now, it has been shown before where they say, yep, your pancreas is done. You're now a type 1 diabetic, and they do go on a proper human diet.
Oh, wow.
And the pancreas sometimes will start to regenerate and start working again.
Oh, okay.
If you went from being type 2 to type 1. We're not talking about children. Yeah.
Sure.
We're not talking about children that get diagnosed and they have autoimmune issues because they had the Epstein-Barr virus and it killed their pancreas, which does happen.
Right. I had a friend growing up and she had type 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I remember us, okay, so we were like 16 years old, we're at this place called Pockets. Do you know what Pockets is? It's in Chicago, but it's like a salad store. It's a salad restaurant where you buy extremely expensive salads. And they come in a little container. Because that's healthy when you're 16 and you're trying to look cute or whatever. But I just remember her taking her, taking her insulin at the store, at the restaurant, the Pockets restaurant. They also sell you salad inside of bread. It's called a pocket, or you could get a salad, or you could get pizza. That's what they sell there. Anyways, it's still there. I was there.
Totally healthy. Totally healthy.
Totally healthy. Can you imagine? Oh man. Getting like a gigantic salad and then like a big piece of bread and with like a few pieces of turkey on top. And you think you're eating healthy. Oh man. Rick, next time I'm in Miami, I'm gonna go to your yard and eat avocados.
Oh, bienvenido, ami.
Let's see here. Oh, Sandra's an expat in Germany. If you're military and you're somewhere else, you're not considered an expat, correct? You're just on military service in another country.
Yeah, you're just on orders.
Okay. Type 1 can become insulin resistant like type 2. The way the ADA recommends eating carbs for 1 leads to resistance. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Another reason why we need to take this over. The great we, Dr. Barry and crowd.
Hey, it's going to take everybody to support it. It really is. It's going to take, because sort of like what with Dave Feldman decided to open his own citizen science foundation to where he could run studies that was not biased, not like, so there's going to be a limit on like who can donate. It's going to be completely crowdfunded, like any other nonprofit, but there's going to be limits, and they're going to be like, oh, you're from Coca-Cola, you want to give us $10 million? Pound sand. So like there's going to be some very strict guidelines and rules about it.
I love that, because you don't want to be bought. You can't be bought. Or
else
you're just
well, some of them do want to be bought, because that means that the CEO or the board members get paid a lot of money, and all these people that are going to be on this board, they don't need the money. Just saying.
Oh, that's great. Wonderful. So you can't be bought.
No, they can't be bought.
Awesome. So Sandra says there's a film called Hysteria about this. Okay, I'm gonna have to find this.
No, I gotta go find it now.
I wanted to talk about 2 more things quickly. We're already at an hour. Wow. First,
I have until 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I have to. Oh, 1 o'clock is different here. Okay. So what was I gonna say? As a nurse, you're gonna be a nurse practitioner. You're already a registered nurse. How are you going to deal with these bad nutrition advice when you're dealing with patients? How are you going to like reconcile that? Because you're supposed to tell patients XYZ. Yeah. Nutritionally. How are you
hoping? Well, I'll tell you, I'm hoping, but I'm in the process of applying to a different university, because The one that I'm at is not ideal, and I will not go
Okay.
into because I'm still enrolled.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell, or I'm not going to bash them.
Okay.
But it's less than stellar stuff going on at that school. So I'm trying to get into a school that's more conducive to, number one, the military lifestyle, because we will be moving again,
Okay.
either in 2025 or 2026.
Okay.
And I need a school where it can move with me, sort of.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that my residency is going to be with a low carbohydrate doctor. I do have one sort of lined up, but with the news, about us probably moving a little bit sooner than what we expected, that might not happen. Or it might happen and it might just be a really big mess trying to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, most of the advice obviously it'll still be low carbohydrate advice.
Okay.
But I can't force it on people, but I'm
Sure.
hoping that I can market myself or be in with a physician, that the whole goal is that they come to us for that.
Okay.
Sort of like Dr. Eric Westman. He has
Sure.
the ketogenic metabolic clinic at Duke University. So the people literally come to him with diabetes, with heart disease, with all these problems, insulin
Mhm.
resistance, metabolic syndrome, like, help me. And can you help me do it without jabbing myself with insulin every day? So
Sure.
they come to him with that goal. So my goal is that they will come to me because they don't want to be, and I
Oh,
think
okay. I
people
understand.
I really hope that, people need to understand the informed consent. And one of the things that people aren't like the medical community isn't telling you, like, and maybe it's because not everybody knows. Like, a lot of us take it for granted that not everybody knows this. Not everybody knows that the more insulin you put into your body, the more insulin resistant you are, and the more likely you are to end up with diabetic kidney disease, the more
Mhm.
likely you are to have a limb cut off. And I think that's important that we tell people that, like, hey, you could either do this and save your limbs and your kidneys, or you can do this and these are the risks. This.
Mhm.
And I think that people should have a choice. And
Right.
unfortunately, a lot of doctors are just like, oh, American Diabetes Association says to do this. Let's go do this.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
So
It's pretty terrible advice.
it is very terrible advice.
I mean, there's enough, and I think like if anyone was interested, there's enough now on YouTube of anecdotal stories of people reversing their type 2 diabetes just by eating steak or eggs or bacon, whatever. I'm being very
Yeah.
exaggerating, but very low carbohydrate diets that are delicious, by the way.
Yeah.
Have you, okay,
Like,
try doing carnivore for a year and then try your favorite food, a bag of Doritos. It literally tastes like cardboard and chemicals.
it tastes stuff tastes pretty nasty.
Yeah.
I've been pretty gung ho. I think the only cheat that I did was I went out to eat. I went out and got sushi.
Oh, okay.
And it had
It
rice
has
in
some
it.
rice.
And
It has some rice
yeah,
and
and this was a couple years ago. I think it was
yeah.
like for New Year's. We went out and got sushi. Like, one time. I hadn't eaten anything else in like 3 years,
Oh,
except
wow.
for a bite of maybe a couple low starch vegetables. I
Yeah.
can't even eat a strawberry because they're too sweet.
Oh, wow. Not here in Colombia. They don't taste very sweet at all. They taste, I mean, when was the last time I don't even remember when I had a strawberry. I don't know. But
Like, my kids eat them, so I was cutting one up. I was like, I'll eat a sliver, and I was like, it was cloying. It was so sweet. It was cloying.
oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
I went,
but
yeah, no,
it is what it is.
that brings up an interesting point because I think the food in the US it's totally different than I've lived outside the States
It is.
for like 8 years now, and it's very different. I have problems every time I go back. I have to like my gut has to like readjust.
Do you know, I've heard of people being like, okay, well, I'm gluten intolerant, but I'm going to go to
Italy.
I'm going to go to Italy, and Italy, and I'm going to eat the pasta.
Yeah.
And they don't have a problem.
Right. It's crazy.
Like, So, that's because they've banned all the crap that we have.
Sure. Yeah, I keep seeing that. Like, this is banned, and apparently Florida Governor DeSantis just banned any like lab grown meat or something. I don't know if it's true. I haven't done any research. I just saw it on
He
Instagram.
did.
Okay.
He did. Yeah.
Go DeSantis. Okay. Meta Cowan. Is that personal care provider? My PCP says to continue the Mediterranean diet is discussed, although he knows I am mostly carnivore. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Well, the Mediterranean diet actually isn't that bad if you ditch like the pastas or breads and stuff like that. If you're eating locally grown meat and veg, even Dr. Barry will tell you that is the proper human diet. It's a spectrum. It is a spectrum.
Sure. Like I know I joke about pickles and avocados because I can eat those and not feel bad.
Yeah.
Like
I don't avocados because they're nasty. I think they're nasty.
Okay, so I can eat avocado. I've never gotten rid of lime. Like I'll squeeze it on my food. Last week I made some guacamole. It was cilantro, avocado, and lime and salt. Simple.
Yeah.
Adding the cilantro, my husband and I were farting up a storm. It smelled so bad.
Oh my gosh. My husband loves cilantro. I'm one of the people that like I can't do cilantro.
There's two types.
He's not he's a cilantro person. Can't do it.
Yeah. Well, we decided not to do it anymore because why do you want to be uncomfortable with gas? Like, but I hadn't had cilantro in I don't know how long, and we just added it. Avocados.
Somebody's talking about something.
Yeah,
he said something about like Carnivore Scott.
Rick said that he has free avocados in his yard, so I said I'm going to go get them in Miami, and he says there's poop on them from ducks. Sorry.
Yeah, you can wash them.
Yeah, there you go. Only costs cents to make insulin in the U.S., but it costs hundreds to buy. Yeah, it's crazy. I've gone with my family member,
Virginia. Joe Manchin's daughter. No, she didn't do insulin, but I think it was the same company. But Joe Manchin, like people do that. They come in, they're like, oh, let's just make it super expensive because they have to have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said something about a paddle on my wall. Oh,
you have a paddle. Oh, I didn't see that.
I have a paddle.
Is that a paddle?
That is actually, it's not a paddle. It's supposed to be like a cutting board.
Oh, okay. For a steak or something.
But it says the Bavry family established in 2005. I got it from the family readiness group leader. It was a going away present. So
that's nice.
Yeah, so we get stuff like that. I've got one that says like Fort Campbell when we were at Fort Campbell, and it's the state of Kentucky, but it's done in pins. If you ever seen people do the pins and then they do string and stuff, it's it's that like we get weird stuff. Memorabilia. Cute. People are like, here, and I'm like, where are we gonna hang this? Like, we have too much stuff.
Yeah, makes sense. I understand. Choosing to live one. I had some fried Brussels sprouts at a restaurant last week. Can't remember last time I had veg. I was cramping really bad. I wonder if it was the Brussels sprouts plus the whatever it was fried in. Sorry,
Brussels sprouts. I can't do that. Ooh.
No. I can do Brussels sprouts and like a lot of butter, but I haven't done this since I've been on carnivore with bacon and feta cheese. I don't know. I like that. And
I love them fried with bacon, but dude, I can't do it. Like
no.
It'll go.
So I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's bad. I didn't know about this, about avocados being high in oxalates. Did not know that. I'm going to say, I'm going to give us 10 more minutes because I do have to run. Okay. But any last questions or comments in the next 10 minutes? Please put them in the chat. Final call for questions or comments. I do, while we're still here for a few minutes. So you said something interesting earlier. Okay. I'll be brief. My son, he's not autistic, but he was born with childhood apraxia. So a part of trying to figure out that is when your brain and your tongue are not talking to each other and you can't talk clearly. You think your brain is working, your mind is working, and you think you're speaking clearly, but you're not. So he went to speech therapy. We went to like various neurologists. He got various screenings for autism. I don't know if the standards are different here, but he just seems like a normal boy. But it took us like a good 6 years and a lot of individualized help just to get him to speak clearly. Having the thing why I was curious about that, because you have 2 autistic sons, twins that are autistic.
Girl and a boy. I have
a girl and a
daughter
boy.
and a son.
Oh, okay. And did you run into stuff like that? Like where you had to take them to a bunch of therapy to get them to speak clearly? I was just curious about the thing because you said that where the brain was offshooting, I guess is what you said.
Yeah. So Audrey was almost nonverbal until she was about 4 or 5. Then she started speaking a little bit. And then we took her to ABA therapy. ABA therapy was great. And then now she doesn't shut up.
Good for her.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I was like, you swung her the opposite way. Like, happy medium.
What's ABA, by the way? What's ABA?
Oh, applied behavioral analysis. It's sort of like if anybody ever watches Criminal Minds, you have like board certified. Those are board certified behavioral analysts.
Yeah.
You can go 2 ways in that schooling. You can either go the criminal route or you can go like childhood and developmental route.
Oh, okay.
And so they just know they just learn how to deal with children with behavioral issues and with brain abnormalities. So took them to, both of them went to therapy. Jacob is a little bit higher functioning, so he got therapy off.
What is Jacob?
I have Jacob and Audrey.
Okay.
And Jacob is supposed to be, at some point in time, there's going to be a video with him on it coming out on Emily's channel.
Okay.
At some point in time. We already did the video, but it went to editing, so I don't know how long it'll be. Right. But, he talks about his experience with it. So with therapy and then using a ketogenic diet.
That was my next question. About like
low
carb, has that helped with their autism?
Yes, very much so. Very much so, to the point where I'm finally weaning Audrey off of her psych meds.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so I'm slowly weaning her off. But it's like Jacob didn't have now on Carnivore today, I talk about his journey, a little bit about Jacob's journey. And it's like keto for autism or something like that on Carnivore Today channel. And it talks about like he was kind of stuck in like the second stage of puberty. Like he was like 14 years old and all of his people had passed him up, and here he's at the stage of an 11-year-old. And so and he was just getting fatter. And I know people are like, that's so mean saying that about your own son, but he was being obese. And I was like, you're going to be like your uncle, so how about we do something? And he did do it. And within 6 months he had caught up to his peers and had skipped all the way through he finally went through all the stages of puberty, which was good because I'm like, oh good, you're growing now, thank God. Now you're showing, like, your voice is changing now, because he sounded like a little tiny kid, and here all the rest of his classmates are like getting deep voices and facial hair, and here he looks like 11-year-old. So so it worked really well for him.
That's awesome. That's so interesting that you brought up puberty. And I do want to end this, but now we finally
can do a second. We'll do another one. We'll do another one sometime.
We should do another one. I always bring up menstrual cycles because in puberty that started for me as like a terrible thing that destroyed my life for years. And funny enough, doing Carnivore, I did a video like, oh my God, all women need to do the Carnivore diet. We need to not be in pain. And one of my friends is like, women don't experience what you experience. That was not normal. And I'm like, what? I thought this was normal my whole life, to be like in debilitating, excruciating pain.
Yes, they tell you it's normal. It is not normal. It is not normal. Now, I will say that cramping is normal. Having a little bit of cramping is normal. especially the first day. And it's because of the hormones that are being pumped out and pumped in and doing all the things and cycling, prostaglandins end up being released. And
right.
that, especially during the spasming process, the spasm is there for a reason, because it's got to
get out.
It's like giving birth. It's got to get out. So it's like your body's like, okay, let's squeeze it out. Time to go. A little bit is okay. Debilitating is not. I thought that bleeding for 5 days heavy was normal.
It's not normal. These things are not normal, and yet
these things are not normal. I was told, hey, yeah, oh, that's just you. Your mom was like that. You're it's post baby. All these things, like I was, bleeding for 5 days. I wondered why I was effing.
We just lost like 10 people. They jumped out of the chat. Sorry,
female stuff.
Stage left. Yeah. But
sorry, female stuff. No, but they say it's normal, and it's not normal. And this is going from clean keto to my dirty carnivore with stevia. It went from being heavy the whole entire time to like I have like I only have like a 4-day cycle now. I went from like an 8 or 9 day to a 4-day, and
oh my gosh,
not anemic. I'm like, whoa, what happened? Like, oh, this is how the rest of the people are living, and this is what's normal.
I don't think they are. I don't think they are. I think it's a very small segment of the female population that actually has something considered normal. And no, I wish I knew. I wish I knew it was what I was eating. I wish I knew it was what I was eating growing up. I loved potato chips, full of crap, I
was on the low fat diet. I was low fat. If it had 0 fat, I would eat it. So the Snackwell cookies, all of the
it's terrible.
All the low fat, like I would eat fruit and fruit and fruit because it was low carb. It was low fat. It was low calorie. I could eat all the fruit that I wanted. And what was I doing? Destroying my body.
Right. You just destroy your body. But what's so crazy about this carnivore diet is it's so fast to like get your hormones back in order, at least from my experience.
It's very quick. It's very, very quick.
Yeah. And I
will say that it has not healed my thyroid. It has not healed it.
Okay.
So
well,
I'm still working on it.
Markers have gotten better. But I don't know. I need to do some more blood work, but my markers have gotten better, but I don't know if it has or not. But I'm like the functioning hormones of like your monthly cycle seem to like go lots of high fat it helps it so much. It helps it so much.
Oh,
anyways,
yeah. I'm a big fan of the high fat now. I tried everything. I tried low fat. I tried low fat, high protein. I tried moderate fat, high protein, and my fasting blood sugars skyrocketed.
Oh, wow.
So now I've flipped it back to being high fat, moderate protein. It's not like I'm adding butter and like an avocado oil and tallow to everything. I just try to eat fattier meats and more eggs. I do add butter to my eggs.
Nice.
They just taste better with some butter and bacon grease in them.
Oh, I always cook my eggs with butter. Absolutely. And pork belly. Pork belly it should be our best friend.
I still need to figure out how to cook smoke a good pork belly. I put pork belly on the smoker, and apparently it didn't have enough meat on it.
Yeah. Oh, so it just dripped.
It was just like this big gelatinous piece of like stuff came off the grill, and I was like, and we ate and bite it. We're like, no, that's kind of nasty. So
you need the skin, you need the fat. Apparently, I watched like a Chinese. Sorry, I don't want to sound bad. An Asian YouTuber, but I'm assuming they're Chinese. But you have to have 5 layers. You need to have the skin, fat, meat, fat, meat, fat, meat. Like you're supposed to have 5 layers to have like a good pork belly that won't dissolve.
Oh, good. Thank you for telling me that, because I really need. So this other pork belly that I have in the freezer, I'm probably going to just pull it out, brine it, and then
Oh, Scott's so cute. By the way,
Aw.
you're doing an awesome job hosting an amazing guest. And Rebekah, thank you so much, Scott. I'm glad I caught this live. I
Aw, thank
subscribed to Rebekah's
you.
channel. Thank you. And looking forward to watching her
Yay.
channel. That's awesome.
Oh yes,
Actually,
I'm gonna have. I didn't even get to tell everybody. We got cut off in the middle. I think my dog was barking.
yeah.
My husband is Army. We talk about the proper human diet with with the carnivore soldier. We're going to be on my channel,
Great.
and we're going to talk about figuring out how to do this for the military because most people in the United States now are not eligible for the military because they're fat and on medications.
Crazy. That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. That's terrible.
Yeah. So I'm excited about this live, and he's agreed to be on my channel, and I'll make sure I let everybody know because pretty soon we're not going to have anybody to pull from because everybody's going to be. It's like
crazy.
WALL-E. Have you seen the movie WALL-E?
Yeah. Many times.
It's WALL-E. It's WALL-E.
It's WALL-E. Sure.
We're all the people on WALL-E.
We are all like people on WALL-E. You should reach out to Nicole Malone, former fat girl. She was also in the military.
Ooh,
former fat girl. She's hilarious. I will.
Send me your information because I might have to do another one on that.
Yeah, because she has a lot to say about military food also and how terrible it is.
It's bad. We have a story that I don't have time to tell, but where it should have been considered abuse what they did to this one soldier. It got to the point where higher ups, way high up in the military, got involved because they were like, "What are you doing to the soldier?"
Oh wow!
We're talking like force feeding type thing, or it was either that or they were going to take or they were going to kick him out as a less than honorable discharge, which means he would have never ever gotten a job.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
You have a less than honorable discharge or dishonorable discharge, they will not. You can't get a job.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I mean, I understand why that would be in cases, but if it's unfair, that's very unjust.
Yeah, it was very unfair. So,
so let's try to end this on a happy note.
Okay. Happy.
Go check out Rebekah's channel, and I'll pop Scott's comment back up here. And my friend Brett just got here, the Hoosier Carnivore. Hello, we're ending now.
Yeah.
Go check out Brett's
watch
channel.
The replay.
Yeah, you can watch the replay. And there we go. And we'll have to do this again at some point.
We absolutely will have to do this again. I like this. This was fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. So I'm gonna say goodbye, everybody. Thanks for being here. And stream. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.